Hi, this is Kim with Forever Fierce Over 50, and today I'm doing something different. So, there are a lot of older people who are really struggling right now to keep it together since they've retired, or even if they're still working, they're still struggling to make ends meet, and they know they're scared they're going to lose their job, and likely they really are. But I found this video that's going to make a lot of this stuff very clear for us and give us some explanation of why. And I will have for you at the end some tips on things that you can do to to earn some money in retirement and still live, still yeah. So let's get into the video.
Dear younger self, I still have to work to pay my bills.
Older employees can't retire. In America today, over half of workers over 50 are being pushed out of their careers before they choose to retire. Most are forced to work minimum wage jobs just to...
You hear that? They're being pushed out of their careers. They're being pushed out because why? Because they are too expensive after all the years of gaining experience and being excellent at your job. Then you're too expensive, and they'd rather pay someone um, half your age or less to do your job at half your income or less. And excuse me, they don't care if that person's not that great at it because they'll learn and you can teach them. So, yay, we get to lose our jobs and train our replacements.
survive.
I don't have any retirement funds put away at all. I'm currently an over-the-road trucker. My current financial situation is probably the reason I keep trucking at my age. I haven't seen too many 80-year-olds out there.
For generations, the deal was simple. Work.
Did he just say 80-year-old trucker? Oh my gosh. Well, that's really wrong for a couple of things. First of all, the poor man spending his life, what's left of his life, on the road just so he can make enough money to live. Where did we go wrong? But on a more serious note, as we get older, things start to happen to us physically, health wise. What if he had an issue while he's driving that 20-ton bomb down the road? I mean, we've all seen what happens when these illegals who shouldn't even have a license are behind the wheel of these big trucks. I mean, it's death on the highway.
Hard for 30 years. Save a little. Retire with dignity at 65. The pension would take care of you.
The notion that you're born, go to school, get a job, retire, die, that's gone. You're not going to do that anymore.
In 1980, 60% of private sector workers had defined benefit pensions. You knew exactly how much you'd get. The company promised. The government backed it.
So when
And they wonder why people don't stay at jobs anymore either, too, because, when back in the day when you had a pension, when a company paid a pension, you weren't going to leave because you didn't want to lose your pension. So you stayed at your job, even if it wasn't the most wonderful job. You stayed there to make sure that you were okay in retirement. But now they've taken that away from us. So what's the incentive? And they treat you like crap. So
Security was started back in 1965. The expected life.
Okay, so she said 1965 was when Social Security started. It was 1935. She made a mistake there.
Expectancy was really around 70, 75. And so people were expected to, spend a handful of years in retirement. And so now that we're looking at, 15, 20, 30 years potentially in retirement, being able to sustain your income over the course of that period of time is a real issue.
The 401k was introduced as a supplement, not a replacement. Just a little extra for the lucky few. Financial advisors sold dreams of compound interest. Everyone would be millionaires by retirement.
Are you a millionaire? Because I'm not.
The math seemed to work. Markets always went up. Real estate always appreciated. Social Security would always be there. The system was unshakable. Then the cracks began to show. Between 1980 and 2020, private sector pension coverage collapsed from 60% to just 15%. Companies discovered they could shift the risk to workers. Call it personal responsibility.
Do you get that? Shift the risk to workers. Holy crap. I mean, it used to be you went to work for a company and you gave them your life. You gave them a major portion of your life in trade for them taking care of you when you couldn't work anymore. But we have gotten away from that. And now they still want you to give them your life, but they're not going to give you anything in return other than a 401k that you can contribute to, and they might add a little something, something in there for you. Nuts.
But something else was happening. A ProPublica investigation revealed that more than half of older U.S. workers are pushed out of long-time jobs before they choose to retire, suffering financial damage that is often irreversible. The data tells a brutal story. A December 2018 study by ProPublica and the Urban Institute concluded that over half, 56% of workers over the age of 50, have been pushed out of jobs before they would have retired willingly.
Over half. Over half. So if you've got 10 people in a room that are working, that want to stay at their job longer before they retire, over five of those people have been let go even though they didn't want to leave. Again, that's because they want cheaper workers.
The study also found that only 1 in 10 got another job that pays as well. Where do they end up? Among workers who were paid hourly rates in 2024, 1.3% of women and 0.8% of men had wages at or below the prevailing federal minimum. But here's what the statistics don't capture. These aren't teenagers working summer jobs. Meet the invisible workforce.
A walk with Rosie and Logan is a rare break for Marianne O'Connor. Then she's back on her laptop, juggling 2 jobs, sometimes up to 11 hours a day.
What did you think you'd be doing at 66?
Oh, I would hope for the...
Can you imagine working 11 hours a day at 66 just to survive?
retired.
And what are you doing at 66?
I'm working my butt off.
Over the past 2 decades, older workers have become an increasingly significant share of the labor force. As of 2020, these older workers made up 23.6% of the total U.S. workforce, the highest portion on record. Even before the COVID-19 pandemic, more than 50% of low-income older households, ages 55 to 64, were financially fragile, up dramatically from the 35%
Financially fragile. That's just a nice way to say broke.
at risk in 1992. The burden isn't shared equally. When broken down by race and ethnicity, we see significant differences in precarity. 57.0% of older Black households and 50.7% of older Hispanic households were financially fragile, compared with 33.4% of older white households. Older workers perform more physically.
See, I hate it when they do that. When they throw out racial statistics. First of all, it should be American statistics, not based on racial lines. But they always couch it in a way to make it look like white people have this edge, right? Even though we are a predominantly white country still. I know they're trying to eradicate us, but we are still predominantly white. But they don't ever say why these other demographics aren't doing as well, right? They don't say why. And that's something that's important to know.
Physically taxing work than might be expected, and older Black and Hispanic workers are much more likely than white workers to have physically demanding jobs. The human cost is real and immediate. Workers who should be enjoying their golden years are instead facing impossible choices between basic necessities. Many are left with no choice other than claiming Social Security benefits early, leading to reduced Social Security benefits and increasing downward mobility and poverty in retirement. Here's what nobody wants to say out loud. This was never about market forces. This was never about efficiency. This was about transferring wealth upward while making it look like personal failure. The connection between work and retirement insecurity.
Transferring wealth upward. So, this has been going on for a long, long time, but it really went on steroids during COVID. And I know that there are a ton of conspiracy theories surrounding all of that. But what's really scary is that there have been a lot of conspiracy theories over the years, and a lot of them have been proven to be true. I honestly believe that the whole COVID thing was a scheme to get us on their you're going to own nothing and be happy, right? It's just too, I mean, so much wealth transferred to the richest people. The only companies that were thriving and growing were huge companies like Walmart and Amazon and stuff like that. Well, the rest of, and oh, well, you have to go to the big companies because of COVID. We can't let you go to the small ones because of COVID, even though the small ones had less people in there and you could separate more easily at the smaller little mom and pop shops. But no, no, no.
Is a two-way street. Bad jobs lead to bad retirements, but retirement insecurity also forces older workers to accept bad jobs. The 401k revolution was the greatest wealth transfer in human history, from workers to Wall Street, from guaranteed outcomes to guaranteed fees, from collective security to individual risk. Once workers reach older ages, especially black and brown workers, those who are not financially able to retire must accept low wages and poor working conditions because they know they have little chance of finding a better job or any job at all if they lose employment. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. Maximum flexibility for capital. Maximum.
Do you hear that? The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. Holy cow.
Insecurity for labor. Maximum profit extraction at every stage of life. One study found that roughly 1 in 3 older Americans is economically insecure, living at or below 200% of the federal poverty level. The data for older Black and Latinx Americans.
You know what the federal poverty level is for 2025? It is around $34,000. So if you're 200% below that, holy cow, very scary.
Is even worse, with half living at or below 200% of the poverty line. Perhaps this collapse isn't the end of the story. Perhaps it's the revelation of what was always true, that security was never about individual savings accounts or market returns. Maybe what's dying isn't retirement. Maybe what's dying is the illusion that you can purchase dignity, that you can save your way to safety in a system designed to extract. Maybe what's collapsing is the lie, not the future. The question isn't how to fix retirement. The question is, what kind of society do we want to build from here?
So you can see it's pretty crazy out there. It's devastating to me that we have engineered this and we as a people have let it happen, but they've done it slow enough over time that we didn't notice, and now everybody's taking notice of it. So it's a problem. I mean, people just cannot make it. I mean, it's Christmas time right now, and it doesn't feel like Christmas time because I can't afford anything. It's awful. But I did say that I would have some uh, ways to make money advice for you if you're dealing with some of this stuff. First thing, if you are 62, take your Social Security. Don't wait, because they are uh, they have that increase down the road as an incentive for you to wait to take it, um, because they hope you're going to die, and chances are you will, and then they won't. I mean, because if you didn't die, they'd want you to take the money early, so you're not getting as much, right? But they're doing that. They're putting a carrot out there to tempt you to take it late, and maybe not at all, because you're gonna die, right? Just is what it is. It's sad, but that is what it is. So take your Social Security. And yes, you are limited on the amount of money you can make once you take your Social Security, and I believe it's somewhere in the 24, might be going up to 25,000 for 2026, but it's right in that area. But um, if you have some income streams that are not corporate jobs, if you make money in other ways, that you can route your money in ways that it's not going to affect your uh, bottom line as much, you can do that, and it will work for you much better. So be your own corporation, work for yourself, figure it out. So there are a couple things that I do. One is I earn significant money doing AI voice training. So it's voiceover work that I do from home. I have a little booth set up. You do have to have some specialized equipment, not a lot. It doesn't cost a lot to get started. You do need a condenser microphone, something that's plugs in, not it's got to be able to attach USB. So you need also an interface. The interface that I use is a Scarlett. My microphone is a Neumann 102. There are less expensive microphones, and I will put a list down in the comments um, of the types of microphones that you can use and that would be good for you. You need um, soundproofing. And I know that sounds like it's a big thing, but it's really actually very, very easy. You can literally just put up blankets in your area. You can go set up your workstation in a closet filled with clothes. And if you've got like a walk-in closet, that works really, really well, because those clothes dampen the sound. And a lot of people get started by doing it in their closet. You need your computer or laptop. And other than that, uh, you just get on there and look for these jobs. So I went to voices.com, and they have a free level of membership and a paid membership. They have a few different levels of that. Um, I started out with a free one, and I started getting the AI work. I thought, ooh, well, I'm getting this with the free. What do I get if I pay the money? So I did. And honestly, I make way more money off the private invites from the free membership. So, yeah, I make significant money doing it. The latest job that I've been doing pays $365 per finished hour. Now, it takes more than an hour to do a finished hour of audio, but it's very, very easy work. It's not, I mean, you do have to be a good reader, but there's all kinds of levels of this too. So, then there's Babel Audio, which a lot of people have found success on. It didn't really work out well for me, but it is out there. You can sign up to do that. Um, there are things like there are different service apps like Papa Pals. The insurance companies provide Papa Pals for on a lot of different policies. It's help for seniors or people that are on Medicare that cannot do certain tasks and need help, like going to the store or whatever. And they pay about $20 an hour for that. So that's pretty good. That's papapals.com. Um, then there is, of course, YouTube. lately I have seen a lot of older people getting their channels started and getting monetized within just a couple of months. I mean, it's mind boggling to me how fast some of these people are getting monetized. I'm still struggling to get monetized, but I'm getting really close. So do me a favor and watch this video all the way through. Maybe let it run a couple times. I need the watch hours. Thanks. If you're not subscribed to my channel, do me a favor and hit that subscribe right now. I'll wait. And then while you're down there, hit the like button too. Appreciate that. And if you have any suggestions that people can, of things that people can do to earn money in retirement, put them in the comments. Um, I'd really like to know what your ideas are because you can't have too many things that you can do. Oh, that brings to mind another thing. I'm also actively doing the Google Analytics certificate program because once you're done with the program, you can get a job as a data analyst. And there are a lot of freelance data analyst jobs. So that is definitely worth doing. And I'm doing that through Coursera. And that is like 50 something dollars a month. It takes, they say it takes about, they say 6 months to get the data analytics certificate, but you can do it in a couple, 2 or 3 months if you work hard at it. It's really not very hard. I was a little bit worried that it might be over my head, but it's actually not. It's actually pretty easy. Yep. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you spending time with me today. This has been eye-opening for me. I hope it's been eye-opening for you. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.